Hi, I'm Damon Smith, Extension Field Crops Pathologist at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I'd like to give you the Diseases of Wheat update for the 2020 Pest Management Update Series. In 2020, in wheat in Wisconsin, we ran into two diseases, first of which is Fusarium head blight, which is common in most years here in the state. However, this year, there were much lower levels of Fusarium head blight. We also did see low levels of Septoria leaf blotch. However, I think for the most part, Septoria leaf blotch did not impact yield dramatically. Here's some research from our 2020 winter wheat fungicide trials. We're actually looking at two different varieties, Kaskaskia, which is moderately susceptible, and Harpoon, which is resistant. You're looking at the Fusarium head blight index score in blue, and then the DON concentrations, or deoxynivalenol concentrations, in orange bars. You'll notice that Harpoon, much more resistant, not even hardly responding to Fusarium head blight. We actually didn't observe any Fusarium head blight in this particular variety. However, we did pick up some DON levels in the finished grain, and you'll notice the non-treated control maxing out maybe close to 0.5 parts per million. You will notice Kaskaskia, much higher disease levels here in the non-treated check, and we do get a corresponding decrease in disease index score here as we add appropriate treatments. Things that continue to do well for us here in Wisconsin, Miravis ACE applied at the Feeks 10.5.1 or even 5 days after 10.5.1 doing well. We're also looking at the higher rate of Prosaro here, doing quite well again around that anthesis time or Feeks 10.5.1. You'll also notice we had a couple of two-pass programs in here as well. And when we look at yield, those two-pass programs, especially on Kaskaskia, gave us a little bit of a benefit. And that could be because we did, again, control maybe some of that low-level Septoria. You'll notice that most of the statistical significance here with yield and test weight is related to Kaskaskia, where, again, we have some susceptibility to Fusarium head blight. Again, most of our treatments giving us better yields and better test weights than our non-treated check. Harpoon, you'll notice, generally doing quite well overall. Again, its resistance helping out. However, its test weight does score just a bit lower than that of Kaskaskia. We continue to look at intensive management strategies, and we recently published this fact sheet, which you'll find available on the PMU website, with Sean Conley's program. In this intensive management work, we actually compared the current recommendations with a mid and high level input recommendations. What we're doing in these mid and high level here is we're splitting the nitrogen applications, and the high level are actually using adding growth regulator and micronutrients. And we're also adding fungicide treatments, either one application or two applications in the case of the high level. Let's look at some disease data here. These are the yield and test weight data. You'll see over the 4 seasons, as we increase management intensity, you'll notice a corresponding increase in terms of yield, and the same with test weight. When we look at the disease data for these different intensive management strategies, you'll notice at the high level giving us quite a reduction with stripe rust. In all years, we did have stripe rust in these trials, and that addition of that earlier fungicide treatment certainly helped control stripe rust in that situation. However, we do have to come back and put on that second application for Fusarium head blight control, and you can see in all years here, both the mid-level and high level giving us a nice reduction in terms of Fusarium head blight disease severity and a corresponding decrease in terms of DON concentrations in the finished grain. Here are the calculated deductions for both test weight and DON. You'll notice as we increase intensity, that reduces the likelihood that we'll have a test weight deduction or a DON deduction. And overall, as we increased intensity, that almost made it impossible to actually get a DON deduction during these years. Here are the economic returns for those intensive management strategies. We actually looked at the grain and straw profits in each of these regimes using costs for the years these studies were conducted. And then we also use estimated costs of each management strategy. Obviously, as you increase the intensity, it becomes more expensive to put that management strategy out. However, there is a corresponding decline in the probability of a deduction as you increase that management strategy. You'll notice that the net profits are quite impressive for the mid-level and high level, with the mid-level actually edging out just a bit, again because as you add that second fungicide application, that takes away a little bit from the net profit. But overall, these are positive return on investment scores here, and you might consider these in your wheat management strategies. This concludes the wheat disease portion of the pest management updates. If you'd like to contact me, here's my phone number, also my email address. You can find me on Twitter at BadgerCropDoc or visit BadgerCropDoc.com to find other field crop disease management information. Thank you.